Welcome back to the kitchen. It's good to be here. We gotta go up a little bit on this. Michael, thank you very much, dude. Starting it off, he says. 14 months in a row being part of the kitchen crew. You're over the 1 year mark. I hope you had a good week. Good to see you. Kimmers was in here first with us. She almost missed the stream. She said, oopsies. It happens. It's okay. It's the weekend. I know we're all busy. Yet it is good to see you. And yeah, guys, happy March 1st already. Where is the year going? We say this every year, but it's going so quick already. Hi, Faded. Good to see you. Same with Mary. Welcome. Suzanne likes cake. Bossman is here on time. That's a big deal. How's the job search going? So updates for those of you that maybe missed from maybe Sunday last week or yesterday's stream. I had 3 interviews since last Sunday. They all went really good this week for like 4 different jobs. One of the places I had, I could pick between 2 different lodges. So they all said, well, one of them I could take the job tomorrow, but it's like the least paying one. That's okay. It's still an option. So I'm keeping it open. And then the other 3 said I should hear back within like early next week. So that's really good. And then from there, I will make a decision. One of the jobs we're really hoping for is Samo can work there. We can work there together at the same time, and that would be just really easy for our life. But yeah, we'll let you guys know how it goes. It's exciting. White Dove, good to see you. We got Cooking Girl with us again today. Okay, guys, it's good to be back cooking. We took a little bit of time off last weekend. It's still beautiful weather outside here. So we thought that we would fire up the Traeger today and cook up some tri-tip that we had in the freezer. We're on freezer clear out mode now. But yeah, look at this beautiful tri-tip. Vacuum sealed, we'll season it up. And I was looking at the recipe that I linked from Traeger. So quick and easy. It's like maybe an hour, hour and a half to smoke that or like roast it through. Love that. So lots of good recipes linked. And then here's our menu, the rest of the stuff that we're gonna make to go with that. So we will cook that to around like medium rare temperature internal. It's really delicious that way. You could also just like cook it like a steak. So some people cook that lower and slower. Some people cook it hot and fast like a steak. We'll kind of go in between today. I think Traeger, the temp is like 325. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry. 225. And then you wrap it and then you sear it at the end. So you kind of cook it backwards almost. Hi, Blondie. Good to see you, dude. I hope you guys are having some nice weather out there, out east. You fired up the Traeger yesterday, Cooking Girl. Cornish game hens and pork roasts for lunch meat. Yummo. So that's always one of our favorites from the tri-tip because there's no way 2 of us can eat all of that today. So we love to either just roast it up or smoke it, and then whatever leftovers we have, we usually just slice it nice and thin and put it into a wrap or something like that. Sandwiches, all yummy options. So I love that. Okay, all of our good recipes there. So to go along with our tri-tip, the potatoes have been looking so good lately. So we're gonna make some potato wedges, just roasted in the oven. Same with the asparagus. So those are 2 easy sides that you can do in the oven. While the tri-tip is going, I thought since it's so nice and warm and kind of summery feeling outside, we'll make some chimichurri sauce. So that is a very fresh, herbaceous. There's parsley and cilantro in there, bit of vinegar, some chili flakes, just like a really nice herb sauce that you can spoon over grilled meats. You can also do it with chicken, pork, really anything. Even whitefish, it's so yummy with. Good to hear about the jobs. Thanks. Yeah, I hope that we get that one. I mean, that is like the highest paying one. And also our friend is a part owner of that company for that one. So I think really good things would come from that in the future. But yeah, we'll let you guys know. Okay, so that's our main. So we got beef, potato, asparagus, and a sauce. That's a pretty typical plate. And then for baking today, keeping it really simple too, white chocolate Funfetti Rice Krispie Treats. So some of you will remember our friend Paul from Vancouver Island where we used to live. He loves my desserts and baking and asked us if I could send him a box of yummy baked goods, whatever I feel like making, about once a month or once every couple of months. And then he'll just pay us whatever we say it costs. So the thing for today's dessert and then tomorrow's bars, those are going to be going into Paul's box. But yeah, we're going to make them together today, and obviously we're going to enjoy a little bit for ourselves too. But yeah, I've never made this recipe before, and I had lots of Rice Krispies to use up. So if you like birthday cake style stuff, you'll definitely like these Rice Krispie Treats. Does Paul watch the stream? I don't believe he does. He maybe popped on once or twice when we did live there and cooked for him consistently, but I don't think he does anymore. He's a pretty busy person. He stays busy on his like 40-acre property, and then just going hunting, foraging, stuff like that with his family. Yeah, it will be a nice surprise. So that's the thing, is we usually don't tell him when the box is coming, and then he just gets surprised with it, and then we work out the details after. It's fun. I like to do that. So yeah, also wanted to say, if any of you guys ever want that as an option, by all means let me know, and I can make you whatever you want and send it to you. Okay, let's make a prep list of room. I don't think today is going to take too long. Whoa, this is kind of a crazy coincidence. I'm out of papers on the notebook for the new month even. So there's 60 sheets in this. That's like way more than 2 months of recipes. Let's see if we have a new notebook, guys. All of our prep lists. Okay, there is more. Have no fear. Some of them might be slightly used. A crab cake recipe? What's this one? Whoa, vegan tostada. I don't even know. There might be some golden pages in here. Maybe I shouldn't throw it out. Wait, this one is all completely filled too, but there's recipes in here, so I'm not getting rid of that one. What's the next one? These ones are like stuck together. Okay, I think these ones are unused. We'll do red today to match my shirt. We did a bit of grocery shopping this morning for the next week. It was a little bit crazy out there this morning. I think it's the warm weather. Everyone was just up and at 'em so early compared to usual. Wasn't used to seeing that many people. Okay, so first things first, guys, I think we'll start with the dessert like we usually do. But maybe we should get the Traeger prep though, and the tri-tip first so it can start to heat up. So I'm gonna write that one down on the list first actually. We'll do Traeger. We got some pellets today. I forget what kind Sam got, but he can let us know when he pops in. So the Traeger, we said 225 Fahrenheit. So that's a pretty typical smoking temp. Anywhere from 225 to around like 275 is typical. So you could go a bit higher if you wanted. And then for the tri-tip, we will do a mustard rub on top so that it will help the salt and pepper and seasoning stick on. So let's say season it, and then it's ready to go. Okay, and then like they said, I'll just kind of read through the recipe that Traeger gave us. So smoked tri-tip, it's got 4.7 star rating from 216 people. It says reverse seared like a boss, this tri-tip is everything a steak should be. Juicy, flavorful, and addicting. Who has had tri-tip before? Because here in Canada, we didn't really get this cut of meat until maybe 3-ish years ago. We started to see it mostly just in Costco, nowhere else though. So it's a kind of a newer cut to us, but my goodness, it's so delicious. Hi, Mickey. You just had some Chinese? That's funny. We had some Chinese food this week too to kind of like celebrate our interviews going well and stuff. It was so yummy. I didn't have like the biggest appetite when we went, but still satisfying. Okay, so cook time 1 hour 30 minutes. Prep time, like I said, this is so easy, 5 minutes. You could even do this in the oven, guys, if you don't have a smoker or a grill at home. We've roasted tri-tip in the oven before and it is so good. You had beef with black bean sauce. I had chicken with black bean sauce. That's one of my favorites. With chow mein noodles. Can't remember a time, Cooking Girl, that you didn't have the tri-tip in Washington State was looked down at as the poor man's steak. That's so crazy. Bonk, good to see you. Hello to the mother-in-law as well. They're snacking. Guys, get your snacks ready for the day and your beverages. I will say that, yeah, I've never had tri-tip cooked any other way than medium rare, or like maybe closer to medium, but I've never had it well done and I've never had it rare. So like Cooking Girl said, definitely cook it medium rare. It just will be the most tender that way. It won't get too tough. So they said 1 hour or so for the tri-tip at 225, and then we can turn up the Traeger to sear it, or I might just sear it in the oven. After the veggies are done roasting, we can just pop it under the broiler. We got options, right? So I'll just put 1 hour first and then sear. But the most important part, like we can go by timings, but really it is all dependent on like your size of meat and stuff like that, because we really have to go by the temperature. So we will be using our instant read thermometer today. That guy right there, to look for around 125 to 130 Fahrenheit internal temp on our piece of beef. This stepmom actually, nice. I love it. You're thinking of taking up golf? Do it up, Mickey. I think some people really love that sport. Whoa, that was insanely loud. I haven't streamed on this in a bit. Sorry guys if that broke your eardrums. Enchanted Gemini, thanks for the follow. I have golfed once or twice. I remember one time, man, I was not having a good day golfing when I was younger. I like gave up halfway through the course. Yeah, it's outside. I remember when my grandparents golfed a lot and they liked it because they walked the courses, so it gave them such good exercise, but nothing like too crazy. Your eardrums are bleeding? I'm sorry. Okay, so that's our tri-tip. And then like I said, usually we do our desserts first. So once the tri-tip's on, we'll work into our Rice Krispie Treats. If nobody's made those before, they're really easy. Typically, you'll just melt your butter and marshmallows, anything else that's gonna go inside of there. Mix it with your Rice Krispies, press it in a pan, and for our Funfettis, we'll add a little bit of sprinkles to it, white chocolate. Call it a day, and then they'll set up. So I'll put those on next. And then that will probably give us around an hour to finish prepping and then cook our roasted veggies. So I'll write down potato wedges. We have some sour cream for that yummy stuff today. And then our asparagus. The potato wedges will take probably around 30 minutes at, let's do 425 Fahrenheit. And then the asparagus will take around 8 to 10 minutes only at that same temperature. So make sure you don't put them in at the same time. Asparagus can go in way later. And then lastly, our chimichurri, somewhere will get that done. You can make the chimichurri, I'm just gonna call it chimi today, guys. If you're wondering what chimi is, it's chimichurri sauce. But you can make it in a blender, you can make it in a mortar and pestle, you can make it in a food processor, Or I've even done it just chopping the herbs up by hand and then mixing everything together in a bowl. So you got options. Let's see what we end up with timings left over and then go from there. Let me ask Sam about the Traeger, if I can just turn it on or if we have to do anything special, and then we'll get into our meat. Oh, he says we just gotta turn it on. Maybe he'll be the cameraman for us when we do that.
Sure.
Do you want to hold the camera for me out there while I go do it? That way you guys can watch. He's saying, It's wireless right now, so I'll just bring it out there and bring it back in. What? Oh. He said he doesn't want to show you guys it, so I'll just go turn it on. Don't ask me what the pit master is up to. Welcome to your Traeger grill. Set the temperature to 225. Press the dial to set the temp. Push ignite to start. It's igniting. Things are happening. Did you like that explanation, guys? Samo said he has to wipe the Traeger off. It's not as sparkling clean as he'd want it on camera. What's everyone else getting up to today, guys? We've been watching Formula One starting up again, so they've been doing some track testing. We've been busy doing that off stream when we have the time. I think I'm just gonna use this to season it on. So I'm gonna go grab some stuff. We're gonna make our own seasoning blend today, I think. We'll do granulated garlic. What else? Maybe a bit of paprika. I don't have any thyme. No fennel, no thank you. I'm not really feeling like Southwest or like Mexican, like cumin or anything like that. So I'm gonna hold off on that. Maybe just a bit of oregano. Oregano, garlic, paprika, and then salt and pepper. Yum. Clem, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. This, and then we'll get our Dijon mustard out to help everything stick on. It's hiding behind the sweet chili sauce. That's the good stuff. I'm just gonna put some gloves on. That's easiest. Guys, I was so pumped this morning. The pair of pants that I'm wearing, I got for $5 on sale. Regular $35. Never pass up the clearance section. They're like the comfiest things ever. Oh no! You have a headache? That sucks. Is it because of the weather? Or is that just sometimes something that happens to you? I think I'm going to open this in the sink, guys. It's just a bit juicy, and I don't want to get the juices everywhere. I'm gonna do this instead, and then bring it back over. But yeah, things are good, Clem. We had a good morning. It's been busy. Getting ready for stream, doing our shopping. Everything worked great though. Why does a tri-tip remind me of like a miniature brisket? The shape of it and everything. Okay, and then we'll also, before we even dress it, with my one clean hand here, I'll get my boning knife, and we might have to trim up some stuff off of this first. So we'll do that and then we'll dress it. It was getting light early this morning. I know we were saying yesterday, like, I'm gonna trim off this part that's really rubbery of the fat. Mickey is like, when we first started our nighttime gaming streams on Fridays, it's now 10 weeks ago, it was pitch black on those streams that I had to like figure out how to get light into our room. But now it's still light out at that time. It's crazy how much it changes in 10 weeks. But that's also how fast time goes by too. Okay, so you could potentially keep this if you want. Really up to you. It's not usable in grind or anything. You can see how stretchy and like rubbery it is. But you could use it in a broth or something like that. And then I always kind of look at how thick this fat cap is. You see it's like maybe closer to an inch thick in some spots and then around half an inch in others. So half an inch is a good thickness. Getting closer to an inch is a bit too thick. So up to you if you want to trim that off. Sometimes I just even it up a bit. And so all you do, just kind of sawing motion through there. And smooth it back out. It just happens sometimes, Clem. Usually a nap helps. Yes, have a nap. I've been doing that the past couple days too this week. And man, it's helped my energy levels a lot. Okay, that looks good. I love how you can like smooth the beef fat out. So nice. It's quite thick on this end here. There we go. The first time I ever had this cut of meat was in California, because this is where tri-tip is really popular. And they actually smoke it with red oak wood. So that's how we had it. Just simple sliced on a bun, and then if you wanted a bit of barbecue sauce on it. So this is the underside, so you can see there's a bit of connective tissue and stuff. We should clean off. Like, you can always clean it off later after it's cooked, but it's just an easier eating experience if we do it now. It's coming up quick, Mickey. The clocks go forward. I don't forget when they do. But it already almost feels like they did. And then also, like, when I'm done work now, because it always used to be dark outside at 6 p.m. when I finish work during the week. It's still light out. It's the best feeling ever. It doesn't make you just feel like going to bed right when you get home from work. Trimming off this bit on the end. I don't know what this is. Some of this is just fat, but usually if it's like that, there will be a strip like this of the sinew underneath it. So that's why we just clean it all off. And we'll keep the fat on the one side on top. And we can get a 2-pack of these tri-tips, usually from Costco, for I think around $40 to $50. It's one of the less expensive cuts of meat that we can get right now for beef, but still a good quality that we like. Because there's no way that we're paying, I think it's like $65 a kilo right now for prime rib. Right? It's cheap, Greek, you know. So bad. And yeah, it's really versatile. It's a big chunk of meat, so cook it all at once, and then you'll have some leftovers. And like I said, we usually make a sandwich or something. Shave it nice and thin when it's cold and cooled off. And then you can kind of also see, this is a good example if we come closer. There's two different muscles in here. So you can see how some of the meat grain is going this way, but then also some is going this way. So you have two muscles. So when we slice it, we kind of angle it as we slice it later too. But I wanted to show that because you can really see the meat grain right now. Tri-tip's expensive in the US? I would have assumed that it wasn't. But it said that this came from Canada, so it's not like we're getting this from the States. What else we got? A little bit there. I'll figure that out after. I'm trying to get this part, see where it's really white. Nice. A little bit more. That's okay there. This little bit on the side. I try not to cut on the tray. This has worked good though for butchering. Just chilling on the sheet pan while I do this. Slice all that off. That's just fat and connective tissue again. But that's all cleaned up. It seriously looks like a brisket. It's like a miniature brisket. There's just a bit here that I'm trying to take off. The meat is so nice and red when we look at it inside. Wow. And now this side a bit. You can see there. And that's it. And the rest is the fat cap we'll keep on. Right there. $9.99 a pound in Washington compared to here. Well, this came out of a vacuum sealed bag. I forget what we paid per pound or kilo. But probably closer to like 25 a kilo, I would say. Holy, that was thick there. Some of it is so soft, the meat. I was gonna say that, like, it is quite a nice, tender slice of beef when it is cooked. It's so yummy. Okay. That little bit. I think we're great, guys. Look at that. She's been transformed. And now this is all the trim that we're left with. It looks a bit different, I guess, from where we started. Oh no. Okay, now get this bag out of here. I need to get some mustard out of the jar. I'm just gonna take my gloves off, I think. We're done the really messy part. So I think I'll save that to make a stock from all that trim. That will be good. Go with that. Yeah, I think that's a good start. So you don't need a super thick layer of this mustard. Just enough that'll help make everything sticky so that all of our spices that we're gonna layer on next are gonna actually stay on. They won't fall off. I'm gonna use some of this for the underneath. That was my plan. But we'll get this side here. And so we'll flip this over and then season the bottom and then flip it back over and do the top so you don't disturb the top crust. That looks great. I'm just gonna try and use some tongs. Flip it over. Oof. Sorry. Metal spoon on the sheet pan. See how like a little mustard goes a long way? And like every time we've done this, it never tastes like mustard after it's cooked, if that's ever a concern. And some people just do like yellow ballpark mustard even. And then if you're feeling really crazy, some people will do hot sauce. Okay, our salt and peppers. So a little less seasoning down where it tapers, and then a bit more seasoning up where it's thicker, the meat. Because we're only seasoning the outside. Dijon's too fancy to do that with. You just do yellow mustard. Yeah, we just use Dijon for more things compared to yellow mustard. So that's why that's what we always have in the fridge. But if you guys have yellow mustard in the fridge, then don't even worry about it. You could even, well, I wouldn't do anything that's too sugary like barbecue sauce. But you can really choose a bunch of different things to add here, your seasonings. Garlic. So the way that they do the tri-tip in California is called Santa Maria style. And it's typically just salt, pepper, garlic, and parsley in the rub. We're gonna do garlic, paprika, and oregano today. I'm just gonna go in here and sprinkle with my hands. This bin is so big. Paprikas. hopefully the salt's gonna draw out a bit of moisture, make this stuff all stick on. And then our oregano, that's like a lot of oregano. I was gonna say not too much. I'm just gonna spread that out a bit. Nice. Okay. And now try and flip that over. Just gotta rinse my hands. And we'll do the top. This isn't the biggest tri-tip I've ever seen either. So yeah, I don't think it'll take that long to even cook. Samuel's got a Traeger? Yeah, we have a Traeger. We have a Traeger and then 2 big green eggs still. Okay, boom. Flatten that out a bit. Size don't matter? No, it doesn't. Yeah, we never thought, or we didn't really know how much you would like the Traeger, but yeah, we really like it. We used to use it a lot when we made bacon and sold it, and jerky. It works amazing for cold smoking. But now, because we live in the middle of the city, in an apartment, the Traeger is really the only thing we can use without getting in trouble. This fat cap, when it starts to cook down with all the seasonings, man, the crust that we're gonna get, and then the fat will render into the meat underneath. It's gonna get really unctuous, and I have to say, like, the fat cap on a tri-tip is some of the best tasting fat on beef. At least my opinion. I really love the flavor of it. Canadian smoked meats, yeah. We did that back in like 2020 during COVID. Okay, garlic. Like a brisket? Yeah, we used to do barbecue platters, and then we would sell bacon by the pound, and same with beef jerky. And then we'd also do processing in the fall for hunters and fishermen that were local. It was so fun. Can't wait to do that again. And then just our oregano last. And now that stuff will all start to soak in while the grill or smoker is heating up. I'll go check it once I put this stuff back. And that's how you season it up. You can really do any combination that you want. These back here, but we'll need them later, so I'll leave them out. Okay, I'm gonna go have a peek. Nice. We're at 179, guys, so we're almost there. Maybe Samuel will wipe off the Traeger so that we can put the meat on together for the stream. Or do you need me to do that? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put this on together. Meat versus my face. That's how big it is. If you guys want me to weigh it, I can. Wipe off our seasonings. So first steps are complete. We'll put these with the tray as well, so you don't have to get dirty hands. So they say for a 3 to 5 pound tri-tip. So what do we have? I would say it's probably 4 pounds or around there. My hair is like crazy today. It's like waving out this one side. You remember it, Greek? Yeah, food for friends. It was the best. Okay, so 3 to 5 pound tri-tip. They literally just did salt and pepper. They didn't do anything fancy like we did. When ready to cook, set the Traeger temperature to 225 and preheat it. Takes about 15 minutes. Combine your salt and pepper. Season all sides of the meat with a heavy coat. Place the tri-tip directly on the grill grate. Cook until it reaches an internal temperature of 130 Fahrenheit or 125 Fahrenheit, whatever you're feeling. It says this should take about 60 to 90 minutes. So always check it within the first hour because the smaller ones will cook quicker. We know that.
What do you want me to use?
And then, guys, when the tri-tip reaches that internal temp you want, we're going to pull it off and wrap it up so it can rest. And then we will finish searing it, I think, just inside in the oven. We have the cleaner bottle, I think, for it. Here you go, my love. We're ready to roll. Thanks for your services. Are we gonna add a pan of water? They don't say to, so I was just gonna follow what the recipe says, Mary, because lots of people said it worked awesome without any water in there. I mean, you could also pull the tri-tip off after resting and just sear it in a pan on the stovetop too. So you got options. And then they say just slice it against the grain and serve. So I always like to read through some of the comments on these recipes as well. Greek, it's odd that I still think your guys' online wedding was like last year. Like seriously, dude, this is gonna be 5 years already that we're married in June. Okay, so someone anonymous, best tri-tip ever, followed directions explicitly and it was perfect. What does he say? Only complaint about the recipe is the 60 to 90 minute cook time was not accurate at all. It took 3 hours. It's okay, guys. I'm still reading. I've used this recipe for nearly 2 years, have done numerous tri-tips, all to perfection. Only thing I do different is my own personal rub. Okay. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Success.
Thank you, Samo. And is it at temp out there?
I didn't look.
Okay. We're looking for a 225. And then once this is on, guys, we'll get into our Rice Krispies next. Our desserties.
Check it out and let me know.
Okay. I'll go check it out. Well, hand me this and I'll bring it out there with me while I go check. We're putting it on. Going out. How was that view?
Good.
Were they watching?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta wash my hands now.
Yeah.
That's the best I got on the grill table, guys. Gotta go up a bit more. We were at 200. Scaramouche is here. Hi. Seems like yesterday I was getting lost through the streets of New York City. Yep. Guys, you're going the wrong way. Oh. No, the other way.
Memory was only like a couple days ago, actually.
Of New York? Oh, I guess because we were there in February. I can't go up anymore. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't 7 years ago.
6 years ago.
You put it on.
I think we're ready, guys. Okay, so you're coming out, and I'm going out there. You hold the pan. Samo holds the pan. I'll put the meat on. We're at 2. Oh, shit. We're at 2:15. They're ready, too. Bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Meats. What? Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Say bye. Oh no, I got a bit of stuff. Okay, bye. I got a bit of stuffs on the hands. Oh shit! How did that even, why? Why did that happen?
What happened?
The camera froze and was blurry out there.
Oh,
What the frick? I did so good.
of course.
Why did that happen? They can't say it's too far away because we've done that before. I give up, guys. Like literally. Went through all that effort. It's because the person honked, isn't it? Yeah, it's not even on anymore. It's not Epoch Cam, it's just Mac 1. Rut-row. Rut-re-row. Now we won't have it at all. Maybe it'll reconnect.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Shoot. Supposed to smoke the tri-tip, not the camera. Oh, now it turns back on.
Watch, go back.
What? Which one is it? This one?
Yeah.
Now it's fine. Oh, we're back. Hi, we're back. Okay, so the tri-tip's on. I'm going to set an hour on my watch. And we'll check it then. I can't do it sometimes, Greek. The pain of being a streamer and just like wishing things would work perfectly every day. Man. Seasoned, it's going on for an hour and then we'll sear that piece of meat once it's done. Rice Krispies. White chocolate Funfetti Rice Krispie Treats. Prep time, 10 minutes. Cook time, 0 minutes of cooking time. I don't know if that's really accurate because we have to heat up a bit of stuff. Total time though, about an hour, they say. If you thought Rice Krispie Treats couldn't get any better, think again. These white chocolate Funfetti Rice Krispie Treats are loaded up with white chocolate and rainbow sprinkles for the ultimate festive treat. streaming's hard work when especially when the tech won't cooperate. Especially like it's not just me, like how on Fridays I'm just playing games sitting in front of one camera. No, we got 3 cameras, right? Music, audio, all the things working together. Sometimes one thing just doesn't want to work together. Okay, scroll it down. These babies come together in just minutes. That sounds good. And then I was reading through the comments of this recipe the other day, and someone said that they try to make this Rice Krispie recipe like for almost every holiday, because you can choose the different sprinkles for different holiday themes like Valentine's, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. So just choose a different color sprinkle and then it stays festive. And that is so inexpensive and easy to make, especially for kids. IRL setups are way more complicated than home setups too. Yeah, I can't even get into that side of it. Like, we've always had just a super simple IRL setup, nothing like what the backpacks and stuff like that are. But that would be nice to use too, at least knowing that you could stream IRL without it cutting out all the time like it does here in Canada. I think that's why I love to stream IRL so much in the States, is because it always just works great. I never have to worry. Okay, so a couple of tips for this recipe. She says, don't overcook the marshmallows. They'll get way too sticky and chewy if you heat up the marshmallows too much. We want to work quickly, so it's important to have everything organized before we start. And you can put extra chocolate chippies and sprinkles on top of the treats before they cool off. It gets expensive and complex. Yes. Yeah, those are so expensive, those setups. Okay. So what size of pan are we making? A 9x9. That is quite small. Let me see how much marshmallows we have, because I kind of want to make a double recipe of this, and then we'll go from there, because we need 16 ounces. So we need like 32 ounces of marshmallows. So I'll weigh those first. Yes, those backpacks. Ugh. If I got one of those, I would think I would IRL stream all the time. You wouldn't have to worry about it. Get the scale and get the marshmallows. Or we might do like a 1.5 times of this recipe. But this is what we got, kind of like 1.5 bags. That's 14 ounces. That's 16 and 5 ounces, so like 20 ounces. I'll just put a little bit more butter and Krispies in and call it a day, and we'll use all of this up. And then we don't weigh anything else. Okay. This can go away. I'll come back with the Krispies, our white chocolate, and then we have to pick a sprinkle. We're gonna use the Calabo today. Let's get the baking bin out. I mean, these kind of are the ones that I think we would want to use. Rainbow sprinklers. The dot ones. Those are the most funfetti-esque. There are a few other sprinkles in here. Like I have, let's say, a Christmas version, like I was talking about before. These little ones are stars. So yeah, just have fun with it. Pick what you want, but we're gonna go with just the traditional. Okay, let's get some butter into a pot melting. We'll get our pan prepared. So let's come back with some nonstick spray and parchment. I think this is one of the most important parts. Preparing your pan so that when everything's ready, you can just pour it in. Like she said, you gotta work quick. This is seriously the best chocolate still, Mary. I'm so happy that we can get it here. Product of Belgium. So nummy. We're gonna make a big old pan. Who likes Rice Krispie Treaties? I definitely have a hankering for these every now and then. We'll cut the corners of that so it stays nice and flat in the corners. Your hubby does? Nice. They're just so easy. Like, we often will have Rice Krispies and marshmallows in the house. So when they start to get a bit old, you know what to do. Bree Pokemon, thanks for the follow, friend. Welcome in. How are you doing today? I love Pokemon. I play Pokemon Go like every day I try. Okay, do that, and then first I'm gonna spray a little bit on the inside. You'll see why. Like that. And then that is gonna help it stick when we push it down so it doesn't slide around everywhere. Now these just kind of fold up into the edges. Boom. And now we have nice square corners. I might slide this down a bit. Okay, that's nice and even. FCB, welcome in. How was your weekend? And now we'll spray around the edges too, all over. And now our Krispies will not stick. So that can go to this side now. We'll put our paper and nonstick spray back. And then we will get some Krispies weighed out. Some butter. Yeah, today, Mary, thanks for posting the menu. We're making a tri-tip meal or dinner. And some yummy Rice Krispie Treats that I've never made before. Good job, team. Okay, we need about 6 cups of this. I'm gonna do, since we're doing just a little bit more marshmallows, like 8 cups. Oh, okay, just gotta dry this one out. She's a bit wet. So this is a 4-cup measure, aka 1 liter. Get a big old bowl. Get a bowl that is bigger than what you think you need. Because when you go to mix this, stuff is going to go flying everywhere. Trust. Nice. Thank you very much, FCB, for the 52 months in a row, dude. We're getting up there. Because once again, it's that time. When I open this bag of cereal, it's going to be a cutter. What it's going to do to me today. Imagine if they just made cereal boxes with a resealable bag in it. How nice would that be? Is that too much to ask? 4. 8. Yeah, that should fill up the pan. That'll be good. We made a bit of a dent. What is beef tri-tip on the Traeger? So tri-tip is a cut of beef, and a Traeger is a smoker that uses wood pellets. We're gonna need a cup of white chocolate chips. Where do these go? Melt the butter, add the marshmallows, pour the marshmallows into the mixing bowl with the cereal, and then fold in the sprinkles and the chips. Okay. So some of the chips are gonna go on top then too. But we need around a cup. So I'll go grab that. And then we're gonna use all of our marshmallows here. And then we just need some butter. Healthy Rice Krispie substitutes, not made it yet. A whole bag of quinoa, nice. Popped quinoa is so good. The wife and son love using seasonal Rice Krispie variants. Yeah, that's always fun too. Or brown puffed rice. What else is good? Puffed wheat. That's always yummy. Puffed wheat squares. Lots of puffed cereals actually are so good. We got options, guys. I think we're gonna add, for sure, yeah, a pinch of salt. I was making sure that it was on this recipe. Because just with the white chocolate in here and everything else, it's gonna be pretty sweet. So don't forget the salt. And then I always feel like marshmallows have enough vanilla flavor that you don't have to add extra vanilla. So we're gonna do, it says half a cup of butter for 1 times the recipe. I think we'll just do 3/4 of a cup of butter. Puffed cheese balls with bacon bits and marshmallows. What? Like cheesies? That sounds a little bit local, but I mean, I always say I'll try everything once. So we need our pot for the butter to be big enough to melt the marshmallows in as well. So a pretty big pot. We'll do this one. There's a podcast called Stuff You Should Know. The whole thing on quinoa was interesting. Ooh. So they talk about things that we should know. Okay, our pot. Somebody dug into the butter. I'm going to do this to even it up. Would that be a cup? That's a cup. This will be 3/4 of a cup. Got to even it up. Who's spooning into the butter? It'd be like savory and sweet. Yeah, it would be interesting. There's Easter Rice Krispies. Are they cute like pastel colors, or what makes them Easter themed? I don't usually look in the cereal aisle because I don't eat a ton of cereal. We're missing out. No, Stuxoid. Kiwi peas here? Welcome. We got the butter on deck. They say all ancient grains are really good for us, right? Okay, let's come back over to the stove. We'll switch to that camera. I put that on a medium heat. Don't ask me what's going on upstairs. The zoo is open for business. Open for business. Okay, so we're gonna melt this. Medium heat. We need a spatula. On deck. Whoa, we're smoking. Bit of fat on the burner. Burn it off. We have our... They said we want around 1/3 of a cup of rainbow sprinkles. So I'm gonna measure those out while we're waiting for this. Got type 2 diabetes, you use quinoa, farro, bulgur, and couscous. And yeah, when we made the bulgur wheat, oh man, a couple months ago now, it was so yummy. I never had that before. And now I forgot about it, but you reminded me again. I was like, I really like this. No one here really eats it. Yeah, right? All grains are good in moderation. Just like how we say really everything in life is good in moderation. I really like the texture of farro. A lot of people don't. It's almost like too chewy and meaty for them. Just getting a better angle for us here. There we go. But I love farro. I actually have a bag. Maybe we'll make that coming up on a stream because we're on pantry clear out mode here. All right, that's melting along, so I'm gonna get the marshmallows ready to pour in. We got our bowl ready and everything else is prepped. Because once this mixes together, it goes quick. Pantry clean out for you too. It's actually such a fun challenge. Schmelting. Samuel, how much was the bag of marshmallows now? Do you remember what it was today? We didn't look. I just haven't bought marshmallows in a while, guys. So I was trying to remember. Okay, we're almost melted. A little bit more to go. Not sure if you've had farro. It's like the original wheat berry, let's say. You go to Bulk Barn? Yes. Yeah, up here in Canada, Bulk Barn is the best for like any grains, seeds, nuts. So much good stuff. Meat is good even in large amounts. None of this WHO stuff. Oh, I don't eat like that at all. I don't really follow any fads. Even when people have asked me like if I eat paleo or anything like that, no, I just eat how I like to eat now. Let me go find the farro for you, Mary. So good. So also known as einkorn. So farro, einkorn, and then that's what it looks like. Like little wheat berries. So this one is grown locally here at an organic farm. I bought that at the farmer's market. Okay, this is ripping. This is so hot now, so I'm going to actually just turn that to really low. There's just a little nub of butter left in there. I'm going to put these older marshmallows down first because they need a bit of help in their life. But we're using them up. Flip it over because it will soften. At least I'm hoping these will work. Remember she said don't cook the marshmallow too much. I thought they would break apart a bit more, but I'm going to pour the other stuff in on top. And then the residual heat hopefully will do what I want it to do. Because this will take a moment or two to get melty. You would consume a kilo of meat 6 days a week? That's amazing. And a veggie day at some point. Yeah, I just kind of go with what my body is craving. Aren't they? That's what I always remember, Caretaker. Rice Krispie Squares. Such a good way to introduce kids to cooking and baking. I say that every time I make these on stream. Because they seriously are, though. Turn the heat back up just a bit more. Can be like a little bit scary, the part with the melted butter. But it also teaches them like hand-eye coordination and like learning that certain things when they're hot can be really dangerous. So I think it's great. Okay, we are breaking this up, so that's good. It is working. There's not a ton of butter down in the bottom. We'll see once this melts a bit more. If we're gonna need more or what. And then all we want to do is kind of just keep stirring this until it gets smooth. That's why I said it might take a moment or two. Can you use normal size marshmallows? I would say yeah, Mary. You might want to cut them in half or something. It'll just take a bit longer to melt, that's all. Yeah, measuring all the ingredients. There's no raw eggs or anything, so they can snack on everything separate. That's so true. You burn 4,000 calories a day? That's crazy. I remember when I was bodybuilding, I ate a lot back then. I could barely even keep up. I don't want to eat like that anymore, though. It's too expensive. I can't afford to feed myself 4,000 calories a day. Yay! The marshmallows that I wanted to use up are melting in. It's definitely taking a bit longer and slower, but it's working. This just feels so funny. It's like it doesn't stick at all because of the butter, but then like you can't really stir it yet either. Sticky business. I'm really just trying to break up these harder chunks of the marshmallow. Because remember the tip that we read, we don't want to cook the marshmallow for too long, because then it will get rock hard. It will get too tough. They're your little sous chefs. Nice, Kiwi. Fun Rice Krispies. Yep, cooking koalas. Hope you're doing good. You can't do much about it. Yeah, I guess when you're a larger human, you need all the calories. Okay. I might need a whisk to get this butter to mix in now. We'll see. It's getting a lot more melty though, so it might start to emulsify. Like, look when I try to stir it. It's hilarious. Imagine what it would feel like. Like, I don't know why I have these thoughts, but like, if it wasn't too hot, like, what would that feel like? The marshmallow, like, pouring over you. That'd be so weird. Drop it in to say hi. You're creating or crafting some cilantro lime rice with birria tacos. Yes, please. What time is that going to be ready at? I'll be right over. I'll trade you some of my snacks for some of those snacks. But yeah, just this texture is like, I love. It's fun. It brings the kid out in us. Okay, we're getting at the good point here. We're getting close. Almost no more marshmallow bitties left. The butter's mixing in. Woo! Lauren, good to see you. I was hoping you'd come in today because I wanted to ask how far along you got on your Lego build last night. Guys, we raided Elsie Weens after our gaming stream yesterday, and she is building a Kingfisher Lego set. You bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shoes from Puma today? I didn't even know they made those. I would probably buy something like that too. I love one-off things like that. And yeah, I used to be really obsessed with shoes. I'll live vicariously through you. Okay, are we there? We're almost there. Melt the marshmallows. We're so close now. That's so cute, Kiwi. Sometimes those things happen to you for the best of reasons. You made the body of the bird? Yes. I love it. They come in the mismatched pairs. What? When to look at the shoes reminds you of the fun stuff they used to make. See? Like, I'm a 90s baby. I know some of you guys are too. They're speaking to us when they make that stuff. They knew what they were doing. Okay, I think this is it. We might need Samo to help hold the bowls so we can scrape it out quickly into the prepared pan for it to set up. Let's see. I've done these a couple different ways before. Sometimes I also don't mix the white chocolate in and then just melt it and drizzle it on top and then put the sprinkles on it. But I think today I'll follow the recipe and see how they turn out. An 80s baby, yeah, that's Samo too. Can you help me in a moment? Or did you die? Oh no, he almost died. He almost got settled in. Okay, he can help me. And then we'll put the bear down for his nap. Okay, yeah, this is good. I can see the little pieces of marshmallow that are whole kind of just break apart when you mix it. So turn that off. We'll come back over. The bear needs a hibernation. Did you hear it? We got 8 cups of Krispies. We're pouring in some Marshies and butter. Sticky business. It's really crazy already. Oh, that's for you. Okay, so we're gonna toss this just a little bit first. We don't want the chocolate and sprinkles to melt right away. Holy. We'll go that in and the rest on top. Same with that. These are so marshmallowy. Whoa. It's like spider webs. Spider Krispies. Okay. That's the ticket. Is this crazy or what, guys? What are you doing? I want to show them scooping it, so you scoop it out. I got the bowl. You want a good scraping spatula for this. And we can definitely say that, Lauren. Like, once upon a time, I think the store-bought Krispies were really yummy tasting. Oh, I see what you did there. He didn't clean out the whole bowl. But now they put so much fake stuff in there that I don't think it tastes as good anymore as like what the flavor we're used to. So yeah, I'm just more inclined. I'll just make my own now. It's so easy. You saw that, Greek? Whoa. Okay, so now I'm not gonna press this back on. I'm gonna go... Get the non-stick spray. I'm just gonna spray it on my hands, guys. And press it down with my fingers. I try not to press it down too hard because I really like to keep the Krispies whole. and like more aerated than a dense mixture. Yeah, you can use this spray on this spatula too, but usually I just do this. Spray my hands, rub them together, and this isn't hot anymore. This could be fun for kids to do this part too, right? That was such a good ratio for this pan. They're Samo approved. I don't know if the white chocolate's gonna stick on top. Let's do this. I'll just kind of press it in. It's a bit warm still, so it should melt into there as it sets and then firm back up so that it's not all melty. That's what we needed in our life. Okay. Wait, you learned that tip on the Nailed It show? Nice.
Nailed it.
And then I don't know if these will stick. They should. Guys, that was so easy. It looks so nummy. So now we'll wait for those to set and then we'll slice them up. Gonna wash my handies. Only one big bowl, one pot, and a couple spatulas, and then the baking pan for that. Oil up or spray up. It works great. Woo woo. That's what they turned out. Thanks, Lauren, for the 690 bits. So some of these are gonna get sent to our friend Paul out on Vancouver Island. I don't think these will take too long to set up. Probably an hour or so at room temp. So we'll just put them back here while we keep working on everything else. Another part completed. Okay, we're gonna work on our, what time do we have? We have 20 minutes before we go to check on the meat already. So yeah, I think we'll get into our potato wedges. Get those trayed up. Same with our asparagus for roasting, just in the oven here. So we'll do a pan of wedges, a pan of asparagus. Keep all my baking pans in the drawer under the oven. I don't know about you guys, but that's one of the best spots. But then I also keep our skillet under there now, so it's a bit heavy to get everything out. Bending over. All right, we're gonna line these pans with foil and parchment first so that they don't get all sticky and stuck on when we roast. What's everyone else eating today? Whoa, that was a little large. Starting to smell the smoky meat from the window. Nothing. It's 10:30. Do you have like a cutoff time for eating? We usually try for 9 p.m. It's like nothing, no snacks or anything after 9 p.m. That's a rule. I think they say you're not supposed to eat anything about 2 hours before you go to sleep, though. Gotta fold some of this foil over. Nice, that's good. Your final meal's at 7:30. I should try to make my final meal like 8 p.m., not 9 p.m. It's not like I have a big meal then. I just usually have like a little fruit or a snack, something like that. When you get a little hankering after dinner. Okay. I have 2 potatoes to use up here, and then I'll go get our big bag that we got today from Costco. So potato wedges, we're gonna keep the skin on as much as we can. Hopefully that'll crisp up a bit. We are using yellow potatoes today, so not the most crispy of potato varieties that we could use. Russet potatoes would be the best for these, but then at the same time, russet potatoes aren't really used for anything else, so that's why we chose yellow, because we use yellow potatoes for like everything else. But I think as long as the wedges are seasoned properly, that's what matters most. I'm gonna try and choose some of these bigger taters for them. Oh yeah, look at these long tater wedges. I don't think I'm gonna use these small ones. Do that one. That'll probably be close to using up the tray. It's pretty deceiving when you start to cut these up how much you end up with. If anything, maybe I'll grab one more, but we can always put it back. Yes, minus the potato dumplings. You probably want russet potatoes for those. Samuel just laughing from the bedroom, Lauren. Okay, get our peeler now. And so we'll just clean off anything that's not so nice, any blemishes. Like always feel these to see if they're dirty, if they need a wash too. But they feel good, nice and clean. And then just kind of get anything else off that you don't think would be good to eat. The potato PTSD. It's okay, Lauren. I've also made potato water before. It's like an initiation. That's what we'll go with. It's like soup. Yeah, we totally meant to do that. Look how yellow those are. You always wash potatoes, Mary? I typically do too. Just like you can always kind of feel on the outside of them. I think we still will. Okay, not very much blemishes on these at all though. That's really good. That's all we had to clean off. So we'll dress these with some oil and some seasoning once they're cut up. Get a bowl to toss those around in. I wonder if we mixed like a bit of rice flour with these are cornstarch if they would go a bit more crispy in the oven when we roast them. Add a bit of starch that they're missing. And then we have like 13 minutes on our timer for checking the meat. So we'll see if it's time to turn on the oven for our veggies or not. And then we still just have to make a simple chimichurri sauce. Nice, Kiwi. Yeah, because you don't store potatoes in the cellar washed. You store everything unwashed. It's like an extra layer of protection. Okay, so from here, we're going to go in half. And then just do our best to make even-sized wedges. If you need a bit more help, you can do it into a quarter one more time. And then these are quite large. Let's see how it is if I do it in half. Oh, that's not too bad actually. It's like around maybe 3/4 of an inch thick there. I think that will be okay. This one's a bit thicker though, so I was gonna show you how to do a couple slices. Because like I said, you want these all to be around the same thickness when you go to roast them in the oven. So that's all we're really watching for here. That's our start. And we want to go pretty quick with these because they will start to oxidize, turn brown on us as we cut them. So the faster that we get it coated with oil and seasonings, the better. I think making wedges at home is a little bit of a labor of love. Most people usually just buy these frozen. These are very crispy potatoes. Very fresh. They're also very yellow. Yum, but all of this surface area, so much flavor. That one I maybe should have done just in half, but that is okay. Okay, we're filling up here. I'm gonna go with this one next, and honestly, that's probably enough. These I maybe cut for no reason. You reheated pizza cheese bread and cheesy puffs from Little Caesars. That's cool that you can get that there, Mary. Little Caesars. The cheese puffs are good, hey? We tried those the other week because I wanted to see what they were all about. And then I was like, I want to make these like homemade version. They just opened in December. Oh, what a nice treat for you then. That is gonna be it. We got extra potatoes, guys. Which way should I do here? Both of them are big. Okay. Rinse our knife. Wipe the board because it's all starchy. Have a sip of coffee. I did also see that, caretaker. I was like, stuffed crust at Pizza 73. Boozy Oreo milkshake. So you're doing your homemade milkshakes but then getting pizza. I like that. Let us know how that stuffed crust is because I'm a sucker for stuffed crust. Okay, our seasonings for wedges. For sure, salt and pepper. What else? What else on wedges? Just do a bit of garlic. And then I think I have some parsley in the fridge that I want to put on them. And maybe whatever this spice blend is. Kazan kebab. Throw potatoes in a big cauldron. Cover them with lamb meat and add oil so you're deep frying the potatoes. Oh my gosh. Dude, that sounds amazing. Like, I want to come over there and experience your guys' version of cooking. That sounds so fun. Potatoes are quite wet, you can see. Not really too starchy at all. That's all right, though. You wish you were good with pizza dough. You could just make your own stuffed crust. Do you guys have any grocery stores nearby you that might offer a pre-made pizza dough ball that you can buy? Because that's always helpful, and those are usually good quality. So a good coating of oil, guys. That's going to help these brown up really nice. Let's get some salt and pep to start. And because we have chimichurri sauce going with everything today, we don't really need too much of flavorings on our food. You've tried both the store-bought and your own dough, and for some reason it won't cooperate. Hey, that's okay. That's like me refusing to make sushi at home because I simply just don't have good experiences when I do it. So I'd literally rather pay somebody else to do that for me. Can't be good at everything, right? Okay, just a bit of garlic. Kind of match the flavor of the tri-tip. And garlicky potato wedges are good. And then I have this Viking Love Rub. I'm trying to use up some spices from our pantry before we get out of here. So brown sugar, garlic, spices, cayenne, black pepper, mustard, cumin. I thought that would be good. Just a little bit of this on. Because why not? When are we moving? Probably the end of next month. The end of this month, maybe? I'm not too sure yet. We haven't put like a set date. Do a little bit of this chopped parsley. House hunting, we're actually not looking currently because the jobs that we applied for all have staff accommodations at them. So hoping to get away with that. I'm getting rid of the rest of that parsley because it's a bit too soggy now. Okay, now we'll toss that up. And then I usually like to have the sheet pan close so that we can just dump it right onto there. Just do that. What are the potatoes seasoned with? So I did olive oil, salt and pepper, and then granulated garlic. And then this rub that my friend made, it just has some paprika, garlic, and some other spices, cumin, mustard powder. But I'm trying to use up a little bit of brown sugar in there that will help the potatoes brown. And then some parsley. So kind of herb garlic. Right? One less thing to stress over for sure. But yeah, within this next week, we should kind of be making a bit more set plans once we have a job decided on. I mean, Samo's also in the midst, though, of doing his application process for doing train conductor here, so we'll see what happens, really. Okay, we're all tossed together, pour it out, and then we'll spread them out, and then, so there's always a bit of stuff in the bottom of this. I always just use my hand to, like, swipe it out, put it back on the veggies. Before we set them on the tray, because that is so much flavor we don't want to waste. Yeah, it's gonna be this summer, Greek, next month or two. So usually when I do homemade potato wedges, guys, this is how I do them, is I kind of lay them out like this. You get the most amount of surface area for browning, and then you don't really have to flip them over at all. So hopefully we can get like around 3 layers on the tray that will fit together. Let's see how this ends up fitting on here. What happened with the butcher class? Just decided to not spend more money to go back to school for things that we already know. It would be fun, but like doing butchery, we'd probably have to still live here. And that's one of the stipulations that we just don't want anymore. I don't love being in this city. So we thought we'd try something else, Mary. Holy shit. See how this works out? And then I just like kind of put the random potatoes that don't fit anywhere like on the side or popped up a bit so that they can still crisp up and roast good. How did that end up being such a perfect tray? I'm gonna wash my hands. Did I quit working for the clients? No, I still have my job and I love it. And I'm gonna keep that job until I am set with another one, if that happens. Nice. And I love doing these up a bit early because now they kind of marinate while they're sitting there on the tray. Nummy nums. Okay, next one is easy, just some asparagus. But we only have 13 seconds on the timer. So I'm gonna go check on the beef outside on the smoker. I tried to bring the camera out earlier, but it was too far away from the computer wireless, so it cut out. I'm just gonna take the thermometer and go take the internal temp of it. So this is the first hour of the tri-tip being on the smoker at 225 Fahrenheit. We are aiming for 125 to 130 Fahrenheit for the internal temperature. Looking pretty raw still. We're at 87. I'm gonna bump this up to 250 on the smoker. But we're over halfway there, so that's good. But I can definitely tell just the feeling of the meat. It's like raw still. We're at the blue rare mark, yeah. But that's okay, we still have a few things to do. I might even turn it up to 275. Do the first hour low and slow, and then do the last little bit, half an hour it'll probably take, a bit higher. I like it. Just turn the dial and press it, and it's set. Okay, so I'm gonna reset my timer then for like 20 minutes or so. Let's do. Okay, we can get rid of this stuff for the asparagus. The asparagus I think is just gonna do salt and pepper. Maybe a bit of Italian seasoning. Maybe a bit of that goodness because I like this one. The mélange. That's what I always say because it's in French. Mélange of fine herbs. Wondering if it'll have a good smoke ring on it, Mary. Probably not the most amazing smoke ring because we're not going super low and slow. We know the longer that we keep something on the smoker with the wood, the better the smoke ring it will have. But for an hour and a half, you might have something. Let's see, right? I don't remember if we cooked a tri-tip like this before. Learning. The asparagus. It did actually look good this week, so I bought some. Yummo. A whole 1.02 kilos or 2.25 pounds. So we're gonna open all this up. I'm gonna open, I think, the bottom because that's what we have to trim first. And yeah, right now, oh, this is actually grown in California. Sometimes it's grown in Mexico though. The tri-tip, we bought it a bit ago in a 2-pack, so I don't remember how much it cost because this was just vacuum sealed in the freezer. But I think it's usually you can get 2 for around $40. Right? What's the tri-tip 2-pack cost usually?
Like 2 for 45, 50 bucks.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, we can usually get 2 of those tri-tip sizes for $45, $50. Which really not bad at all considering you're probably paying around $50 for 1 plate of steak at a steakhouse now. All right, so we're gonna grab these, grab a bunch, move that over a bit. We're gonna kind of look at the ends here. We can even up the ends, get them all packed down there. And then look, go around like maybe 4 inches up. And we're gonna trim that where the stock is really light. I think we'll go like there. All the way through. And that's the really woody part of the asparagus that we don't want to eat. Some people save those to make soup or stuff from. I'll leave that one up to you to decide. You can also like freeze these and put them into a stock. I might actually save these then because I have the beef trim scraps. I might do those together in the pot. A little bit vegetal and sweet from the asparagus, and then the beef should work out good. And then let's say you have like a longer one like this that's a little bit light colored at the end, so you can always test it by breaking it. No, it's not tough down there. That's all good. Actually really good asparagus. Whoa. It almost tastes like the homegrown stuff I had when I lived on the island. This bag of asparagus is from Costco too. I think it's usually around $8. But yeah, we're gonna cook it all up. I haven't had asparagus in a while, so I'll munch on this after stream and then the rest of the night until it's gone. nice. And then once it's trimmed up too, right, you have to think about that bit of loss from the stalks. So always buy a bit more than you think you would need. I'm gonna put these on here for after stream. Rinse our knife. Now we can dress these on the sheet pan. And guys, I'm also gonna turn on the oven to start heating up because it does take a while. 430 Fahrenheit. So then I usually lay them all out like that. Do we have bacon? We don't have bacon right now, Mary. What is that? It's like a little blemish or something. I'm just gonna wash that off. I don't know what it is. I was thinking of maybe doing like a double baked potato this week, so that's funny that you asked if I had bacon. Because that was the reason that I didn't do it, is because I don't have any bacon. I think we might spread this out this way actually. Like half and half on the tray. They'll fit better. Okay, so before we spread those out too crazy, let's get our oil. Run to the store and buy some. I don't go to the store on the weekend after like 11 a.m. It gets too crazy out there for me. I can't handle it. But yeah, we took a break from bacon because we went a little hard there for a few weeks, maybe even a month. So I said, okay, I'll take a break from bacon for health purposes. It's too people-y, Mary. It's like, not that I don't like people. It's just that I don't like unorganized humans that go to the store for no reason. It's like, I only go to the store because I need something. So like, I'm on a mission always, right? I get in and I get out. But a lot of the people go to the store because it's like a comforting thing for them, and they just like mosey on around. That's not my style of shopping. I'm sorry. So to save everyone hassle, I just go to the store early and I'm happy. They get to do their moseying at their part of the day and everything works out great. Some pep on here. You wouldn't understand shopping without needing anything. Me neither. Me neither. Do some salt, and then we'll toss this all together because right now the seasonings aren't really sticking the way we poured the oil on. But don't worry, we'll get there. And like, I really only try to go to the store once a week for us. Okay, now kind of toss those around in a circle. Get it all oiled up and coated. Works so good this way. Spread it back out. Other side. Other half. Look at this little one. smaller than a pencil. So we got one nice layer on each side. That'll roast so good. And then, yeah, like I said at the beginning of the stream, around 8 to 10 minutes or so for those to roast through. I like them a bit more crunchy than soggy for my asparagus being roasted. So definitely more al dente. I'd much rather have my asparagus undercooked than overcooked. You go shopping on weekday mornings, Mary? That's always such a good time to go to. Try to be home by 11 or 12. I love that. It's not too bad when we go on Saturday mornings. A lot of people like to sleep in those days, right? Yum. Yummy yum. Okay, oven's on. Wedges are done. Put this stuff, actually leave the oil because chimichurri's coming up next. And then I'll come back with some chili flakes and red wine vinegar. I know this because I've made chimichurri before. There might be a little bit of honey in it for balancing sweetness. I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's like the base. That's the base of it. And then we'll read through the recipe for the rest. Eating with our eyes today. Yeah, nice and colorful, hey? The potatoes are so yellow. That's green. The meat's gonna be nice and red. Chimichurri. A tangy sauce that works wonders on steak and everything else. This is from Serious Eats. There's a bit of history here. Let me see what I can tell us today. Chimichurri's etymology is steeped in lore. I love lore. Some claim it originated with an Irishman named Jimmy McCurry. What? Or a British meat man named Jimmy Curry. While others say it's a mangled version of the phrase, give me the curry. What? I did not see any of this coming right now. What? A somewhat more convincing, if still unproven theory, is that it comes from the Basque word chimichurri, which roughly describes a disorganized mixture of things. No matter the true backstory of chimichurri, it's hard to deny how much it has in common with other herb-based Mediterranean salsas, like Italian salsa verde, which makes the case for Spanish origins at least a bit more credible. I honestly thought it was like originated from Argentina. Mary thought it was Spanish. Okay, yeah, so one thing we do know for sure is that this tangy Argentinian sauce is a revelation with grilled and seared steak complementing its hearty flavor with the woodsy and green herbal notes of the herbs. There's a punch of garlic, some chili heat, and the bright tang of wine vinegar. It's also fantastic spooned onto roasted or grilled fish and seafood, chicken, pork, and vegetables. Seriously, almost anything. And in each case, offering a welcome wake-up call with its assertive punch of flavor. It's so yummy. If you guys have never had it, man, it really is gonna remind me of summer today. If you travel around Argentina, Uruguay, and other regions of South America, you're bound to come across many renditions of this sauce. It most always includes ingredients like fresh herbs, oil, garlic, and an acid. Oh, you've never had it before. So I see they're using a little bit of dried oregano. There's red pepper flakes, a bit of boiling water, which I've never done before, And then flat leaf parsley, fresh. And I always do a mixture of parsley and cilantro, just because that's what I like. But I see if you don't like cilantro, you don't need it. You can just do parsley too. Some garlic cloves, which I think we'll use on the microplane, so we'll get them minced really fine. Red wine vinegar, neutral oil, and then just some salt and pepper. So like I said, you can do this in a bowl, which is what we're going to do today because we have time. Just chop up the herbs, mix all the other ingredients together. Or you could do it in a blender, food processor, anything like that. Just be careful with how much you do blend the fresh herbs so that they don't get too heated up in the blender if you use that and turn brown. Be careful with that. So this is how they start their chimichurri. I think we should try this. Combine the dried oregano and red pepper flakes and add a little bit of boiling water into it. So it like bumps up that flavor. If it has cilantro, you avoid. But yeah, if you're gonna do it with parsley, you'll be a-okay. Okay, come on over. I'm gonna get all the ingredients out for us, but this bowl should be big enough, I think. It's cute, it has a little bow on it. This is gonna be our chimichurri bowl. I'm gonna put it down here. So we need our dried oregano. Gotta go grab that, but I do have the pepper flakes. And then we just need some garlic from the fridge. So that's nice because we seasoned the tri-tip with some of this oregano. So these flavors are gonna come full circle. Get a bit of water in the kettle. They said around 3 tablespoons of boiling water, so not that much at all. Who in chat has had chimichurri before? So we need, that is so much. How much are we making here? 2 cups worth? Holy smokes. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit less of everything just because I don't think we need 2 cups of it. Do like a 1/4 cup of dried oregano. I've never put oregano into it. That's new for me. And then a tablespoon of our chili flakes, or however much you want. I'll let you guys decide that, because that's actually like so much. I'm gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon. I don't like when the heat overpowers the flavor of the meat. Get our herbs and garlic out. Let that simmer down for a moment, the kettle. How much garlic? They said 6 cloves of garlic, guys. We don't know the size of these cloves. Hi, Vicariously. How have you been? It's good to see you. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Okay, I'm going to choose some of the larger garlic cloves so it's a bit easier for me to grate them. Fine, I'm going to choose those 3. And then where's the rest of our cloves here? This thing exploded. So I don't throw anything out that's usable. Okay, we're not using that. Let's pour in our couple tablespoons of water. Nice. We're gonna get a little spoon for mixing. Our 20-minute timer on the meat in the Traeger is going off again. I'm gonna go peek and see how that is doing because I turned up the temp. So I want to make sure that it doesn't overcook. I'll be right back in a moment. See what's happening out there. Ooh, it's looking good. Okay, nice. 105. That's coming up. Need like 20 more degrees only. I'm gonna do 15 minutes now. Since we're getting close. And then that'll rest. Everything will go into the oven. We'll call it a day. And then we'll finish by searing it up. We can probably try our yummy crispy squares. Are these gonna peel nice or do I gotta smash it? Looks like we gotta smash it, guys. It helps so much to loosen the skin. It's so sticky. So we are using a microplane for this garlic. And then let's take out our cilantro and parsley amounts that we want. I think I'll do half of each of these bunches, but if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to use it. And I'm not gonna tie that back up because it usually makes it go bad faster. Parsley wasn't looking amazing today. I will say that. I'll use this side of it. And now those can go back in. Stay fresh in the fridge. When I looked at the tri-tip just now though, guys, it was starting to get a nice, like, kind of red hue, red color on the outside. Yummy things are happening. Okay, so this is oregano and chili flake that was steeped in a bit of hot water to soften them up. They should absorb more flavors that way. Now we'll grate our garlics. Careful near the end, but that's how it looks. It's just like a paste really when we do it this way, so it'll mix in really well. There won't be any chunks. And then we also know that the flavor of raw garlic gets stronger as it sits over time. So just be aware of that too. Because if you add a lot now and then go to use it tomorrow, it might overpower the flavor. Last little one. Now we'll flip that over. Holy, it's like so sticky. Get all the goodness out of there. Nice. Garlic pulp. Definitely rinse that, otherwise the garlic will stick on. And if it dries, man, so hard to clean off. Just waiting, guys, for the oven to say it's hot. I don't know if it beeped yet. And then I'll get these potatoes in. Next one, before we chop the herbs, we're gonna top this with the oil and red wine vinegar. I'll go with that to start with the oil. And then for the vinegar, they said around half a cup, but I'm not gonna do that much. I usually just kind of watch the layer that it makes together. Man, we might have to switch to a different bowl. I don't know if we'll fit all the herbs in here once they're chopped. Mix that garlic in. Cutting it close. Okay, move that over. So this is our parsley, so we can pick it off of the stems and obviously pick out anything that's not very nice. Oof. That one wasn't that good. Same with that one. You guys are going, Lauren? Have fun. Give Bonk a hug for me, please. And yeah, just be safe and have fun. And I hope you guys have the best time ever. I love when stream humans meet up. Makes me so happy. It's like one of the coolest parts of us being together every week on the internet is sometimes we actually do meet up in real life. Okay guys, I'm gonna put these taters in. They're ready to roll. The oven's hot. I'm gonna put them on the bottom rack so they get nice and crisp underneath. And then I only have a 5-minute timer on my watch, so I'm gonna put a 15-minute on for those. The 5 minutes is for the tri-tip to check again already. That's how fast it goes. We're racing the tri-tip. Parsley has been picked. Next one. Okay, usually I'll take out the like yellow and brown leaves from the bottom. Do you need help? Okay. That's not too bad if that's all we gotta take out. Now the rest of this. Some people will just chop up all the stems and everything into a chimichurri. I've seen that before. But I don't think that's necessary. You like my whispers, Mary? ASMR with Kate. Go, go, go. I think today might be a walking day after stream. It's so nice out still. I wonder if the sidewalks got a bit better. The other day that we tried to go for a walk, I said I almost needed like my rubber boots. It was so wet. Alright guys, so potatoes are in the oven. Tri-tips just finishing on the smoker. Asparagus will go in the oven in the last 10 minutes or so. We're finishing up our chimichurri sauce to bring the whole dish flavors together. And we already did our dessert. Nice productive day. Beep, beep. I don't even know if there's a restaurant here that cooks tri-tip. in this whole city. I was just thinking about that. It's like, even if I wanted to go out to have this meal today, I don't even know if I could. That's kind of crazy. We have a bottle of balsamic from 5 years ago. Never opened, so it's safe. So I'll say to you what I say to everyone else is to use your senses in this scenario. So first, since it is so old, definitely use our eyes, because that's the safest one. If it looks like balsamic vinegar, nothing weird, no bubbles, no weird color, stuff like that, Mary, then you can use your next sense. So I'd probably then open it up and see if the texture is good, and then from there, I'd give it a smell. It's gonna probably smell pretty vinegary still, which is what you want. But if there's any like weird smells that's not balsamic, obviously don't go to the next step, which would be trying it and tasting it. But like, you're not gonna die from tasting a small amount of vinegar. But that's like what we're taught in culinary school. So use your senses if you're unsure. Go with the safest ones first. That's not gonna hurt you. Like, don't go right off the bat and try something if it seems like it might be bad. Okay, we're getting our herbies chopped up. My timer is going off for the tri-tip. So I'm gonna go have one more peek out there with the thermometer. Might be time for it to come off. I'll be right back. Yeah, wanna see what type of white powder it is? Whoa, baby. It wasn't cornstarch. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, there's sizzling sounds in here. $1.18. Guys, it's the moment. We're here. I'm glad I put the potatoes in. Okay, I'm gonna get a sheet pan and our tongs. And they said we're gonna wrap it in foil, so I'll get that. You heard the roar. It's looking so yummy. So our next step, taking it off and resting it, and then we sear it before we plan to serve it. A big piece of meat like that can rest easily for 20-30 minutes though. Big old foil. Maybe I'll just use a Lloyd pan. I think it's shrunk enough. Do that. I'm just gonna put the foil like in this pan to drop it in there. And yeah, because we're gonna sear it again, I think we're safe to pull it off at 120. I'll bring Samo with me so you can help hold the tray if he's alive. We're gonna get the tri-tip off, please.
Okay.
Whenever you have a moment, I am ready. Woohoo! Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm like trying to see if I can set up the camera inside so you guys can watch us take it off, but I don't think it's gonna work. So let's come back over. and finish chopping up our stuff while we wait for Samo. You're here?
I'm here, my dear.
You're ready, my Freddy?
I'm here for you.
What's going on?
Oh.
What are you doing? I kind of heated it up in here a bit, hey? Look at the parking spots are making swimming pools.
I got this.
You got that.
I got this.
Guys, he's just going out. He's going out to get it. I'm not. Sounds good. Water today, people. That's what it's all about. Potatoes are sizzling. Turning them up to 450. It looks good, hey? And the sizzle sounds. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The meat baby's here. This is what she turned out to be. Get rid of those tongues. Look at the color though on the side of the meat. I don't know if I can fit this here, but maybe we'll do it over by the stove. Come over this way. So all I'm gonna do is wrap her up. So we still have to crisp up the outside of this. But for now, she's just gonna hang out, packed up like a meat baby, while we finish everything else up. It's looking so good, Michael. So we'll get this stuff chopped nice and fine. We can definitely say, just going off of some of the comments from the Traeger recipe that we are using for inspiration today, that yeah, it would have taken a little bit longer to cook the tri-tip at 225 Fahrenheit the whole time. So I'm glad I turned it up to 275 at the end, because that was around 1.5 hours, like they said, the 90 minutes. But it would have taken way longer if we kept it at 225. So that is my review of that. But like I said, you could also just do this in your oven, because the oven has the same temperatures too. So if you don't have a Traeger, you can still make this for yourself. And like maybe put a little bit of liquid smoke or something like that. You get the flavor you're looking for. I'm going to switch this to a bigger bowl. Thought that was going to fit, but it is not. So before we get too messy and carried away, just gonna do this. So that's oregano, chili flakes, olive oil, and red wine vinegar so far. Now we'll add our parsley. we'll chop our cilantro. Is this a marinade? So this is a sauce that is typically served with grilled meats or veggies, Mythical Suki. It's an Argentinian style herb sauce. So think like all of these chopped herbs just kind of mixed in with the oil, vinegar, and chili flakes. And then you just kind of spoon it over what you're eating. It's been so warm here that I'm like getting a little taste of summer. So I felt like making this today. But yeah, this will be good with the potato wedges, with the asparagus, really every part of the dish. Potato wedges aren't even close to being done. I'll do another 15 minutes on them. Good to see you as well, Suki. I feel like it's been a hot minute. We still gotta try our crispy treats while we're waiting on everything to finish up. It's a dessert before dinner day. Okay, the cilantro looks nice, finely chopped. Smells good too. Rinse our knife. The ads are aggressive today. That's really weird that you say that because I've literally skipped the last 3. I have that choice on my end. It's like there's an ad coming up for your viewers. And I can skip up to 3 during my broadcast. So I've skipped all 3 already. So the fact that you're saying that you can still see them, that's weird. I don't understand that part of it then. But we've had this conversation many times on stream about not loving the ads. Let's get a spoon. And then we still need some salt and pepper in here. But that looks like a good ratio of everything. Good pinch of salt. Stir that up and then we'll give it a taste. See how we feel. Nice. So that's how it looks. Also, I see your Prime sub, but maybe you don't have it right now. I thought with your Prime you get ad-free viewing on Twitch. Brutal. Gonna get a spoon. Nice. Potatoes are starting to look good. No, I was saying, Suki, that I skipped all of my first 3 ads today during stream. So that's weird that you said the ads have been bad, because I've literally skipped all of them up until this point. That is so good with the garlic in there and the herbs. Whoa, just got a little bit of chili in the back of the throat. I'm gonna do a little bit more salt. The spice comes through really nice, actually. Whoa, that might be one of the spicier chimis I've made, but it's so good. The whole boiling water thing with the oregano and chilies worked. Okay, into the fridge. And this does have to be kept in the fridge. You can't leave it out at room temp. I'm gonna see how much these potatoes are browning underneath before I put the asparagus in. But I was thinking about putting the asparagus in right away. So this is how those are cooking. I'm seeing them starting to get a bit crispy on the edge. Okay, so nothing's browned underneath yet. So I'm just gonna turn the tray around, put it back into the oven. We have about 10-minute timer on that. But I'm gonna let those run the 10 minutes because I think it'll probably be more like a 15, 20 before they're crisp. So, for that fact, I'm gonna see if we can cut into these or how soft the white chocolate is on top. Okay, it's like liquid. I don't really have room in the fridge. I don't think I have room in the freezer. Whoa, maybe if I move something around. But it might be cool enough if I just pop this outside for a moment or two to firm up that white chocolate. It's super melted though. There's no way that we could cut it. It's literally liquid when I put my finger into it. It's just been chilling in our warm spot, right? Where we're working. This could work. I'm gonna put it in the egg so nothing can get it. But I don't even know if it's that much cooler outside than inside right now. It's summer in the middle of winter in Canada. There's no birds, no. That's why I always put it in the egg, because there's no way they can get into it. Pick it up and chew on one corner. If I wasn't sending it away to someone that's paying for them, I would do that. But I have to be food safe with it right now. So, in the meantime, we wait. I am gonna want some sour cream with our potato wedges. So we'll get that stirred up. Not that sour cream. That died. Luckily there's only like 3 spoonfuls left, but still, it's okay. We got a new one. This stuff is usually so thick, it's hard to stir. It's more like cream cheese. Sour cream and hot sauce, or like a chipotle mayo with potato wedges is always good too. I'm gonna need a bigger spoon. The Ukrainian in me, Mary, is always satisfied with sour cream and potatoes, though. Like, look at how thick this is. Looks like ice cream. It's like very grainy as well. I don't know if we might be taking this back. I don't know if you guys can see that. All the little dots in there. Why is it like that? Did they take it too far? What the heck? Now I have to try it. Right? We're using our senses and I'm using my eyes. This looks weird. It tastes normal. I don't know why it looks so grainy though. Every time you see sour cream, it's so soupy. This brand from Costco is really good. It's just Kirkland brand sour cream. And it is actually 18% fat, so pretty high fat. Jalapeno and cream cheese in your baked potato? That sounds legendary, Mary. Hey, our sauces are ready. It might be time to put our asparagus in the oven. Almost. I'm gonna put the oil and vinegar back. We'll wait the 3 more minutes on our timer before doing oven stuff, and then let's get some plates. We'll also need a big cutting board. That plate was not clean. For slicing the tri-tip. The Traeger is shut down. You got it, Mary. Yes. Good. We got our cutting board. We need a slicing knife. Where's Samo's slicer? I think he packed it up. Did you pack up your slicing knife into your knife kit? He packed it up. He thought, I don't think I'm gonna need this anymore. But we needs it. Try and scrape the grates right after. That's actually a really good reminder. I've been wanting to really give him a good scrub. There's one thing, like, everyone treats their smokers differently. I don't like when it gets gross inside. Like, some people will never clean their smokers and be like, oh, that's just part of the flavor. I just can't do that though. I don't know if it's just like how we're taught about food safety or something. I don't like when it gets too gross. Because I feel like that stuff will just keep building up and up. I'm gonna go hunt for this knife kit. I already know where it is. I've seen it. Samo thought I didn't know. Wow, Wives know everything. Wives know everything. Gotta do a little cleaning? Yep, it's time. There's our knife for the tri-tip. 15 seconds, people. That's what we got before we put the asparagus in. And then, how are we gonna sear the tri-tip? Probably just finish it on a broiler. Nice. Those are working really good. Asparagus is in. Actually, I'm gonna lower that rack one. And then I'll go check on the white chocolate, see if it's set up outside yet. Whoa. It is working, guys. It's working. Sweet. So we might be able to try some bars before the end of stream. They're almost hard to the touch. Okay guys, 6 minutes on the asparagus and we're laughing. Ha 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 ha. I'm flipping through our old pages here because this one had some recipes in it. Whoa, like this one is like it's called panisse. It's like chickpea fries. That's from like another time in my life. Teriyaki sauce, cauliflower fritters. This is actually from when we worked at a catering company. Those were those recipes. Okay. Don't need any of those. That is A-okay. Guys, now that I cranked the oven up, it is warm. Heat's off, and it's too warm inside. 10 degrees outside Celsius. You got 44. What do we have today? Oh, it says it's only +3 out. So that is 37 Fahrenheit. So pretty much same temp, Mary, right now. Just a little bit warmer you have than us. You guys are still more south, right? So you still have 12 degrees. Whoa. That is pretty crazy, I will say. shouldn't be this warm. Okay, that is looking so good. I mean, the fact that we were able to go on a hike last weekend in the mountains in a hoodie. Everyone else was in like parkas and stuff. It was so funny. Just gonna go blow my nose really quick. It's trying to do running things. I'll be right back. Hey, you really think it's spring? That's what I was saying too, Mary. I was like, is winter over? But that's why, like, sometimes we get a false spring during this time of the year. Because I know, like, my brother's birthday is on March 22nd. Sometimes we still get snow then. So we'll see how it goes, though, hey? That would not be good if this was the start of spring already. That's all I'm gonna say about that. The potatoes are squeaking. You actually had winter in Florida, 8 inches of snow. Everything's messed up. You've had snow in May? Yes, yeah. Even like May long weekend, I think, is one of the last weekends in May. Holiday weekend here. A lot of times we'll get snow. You guys have precipitation, caretaker? And we'll take the precipitation for sure. Let me go grab those bars out of here. We'll cut some up. Yummy, yummy bars. Dun, 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 dun. Can I put this on a smaller board? That's our tri-tip board. I'm gonna give these asparagus a poke. The timer is going off. Okay, they're still pretty rock hard. Carrying on. I'm gonna go another 5 minutes. So what I usually do, because we sprayed everything really good and lined it, is this should, yeah, just pull up, no problem with the paper. And then onto the board. Just some greasy bits there that gotta be cleaned. Your dog pen is free and clear of the white stuff, Mary. Even though I'm sure the doggos love the white stuff. And now this can come off of the parchment really, really easily. These are quite marshmallowy, which is not a bad thing. Now let's get our serrated knife, because that works the best. Schmaxy. Schmaxy bars. Whoa. There's some weight to this. Is that half or so? It's hard to tell sometimes. Right down and through, nice and clean. Should I do bigger bars or smaller ones? I think that side's gonna be Paul's. I think we'll do smaller ones, like cut it into thirds. Go there. Yeah, I like when this stuff doesn't stick to the paper. It's true. Now, kind of separate this if you can, just so we don't cut into the other side. Then we'll go one in the center. Nice. Whoa. They're marshmallowy. Should I take a photo of this first, I think, before I destroy it? You need a photo for the stream. Namo. You're welcome, Mary. Okay, I also gotta get Samo over here. You wanna try a bar?
Oh yeah.
Let's do the pull apart though. Did you see that? It was still melty chocolatey. Whoa! Look at that ratio. Mmm. It's yummy and sweet. I like the crispy crunchies. I might put a little bit more sprinkle of salt on top. But the crispy crunchies are so good. Really good marshmallow amount and butter. But not too much that it makes the crispies soggy. What are you looking at? Funfetti Rice Krispies. Just go there. Timer's going off for the asparagus. That was easy and delicious. Whoa. That's rich. Okay, perfect. Asparagus is done. The potatoes are done. Potatoes I'm just gonna leave in there. Turn the oven off, turn the broiler on. You might just make them for Todd. They were so easy. As long as you have white chocolate and the sprinkles, you can make that version. So this has been resting and sitting off of the smoker. Whoa. Look at all the juices. I'm just planning to sear this top side under the broiler just to crisp up that fat cap a bit more. And then we can slice it up. But she's definitely rested. So I'm gonna put that in the oven. And for this moment that we're waiting, I'm actually just gonna go take a quick bathroom break before we finish up. I'll be back in a moment or so, guys. Don't go anywhere. I have returned. Let's have a peek. Oh, hello. Crispy bits. Go a little bit more for sure. The paprika and garlic crisping up. Smells so good. Crispy, crispy fat cat. Okay, I think that's good for the searing part. What type of quinoa did you make for your meal prep? Holy, that looks good. I'm gonna put this over on this side. Wow, guys. The way that that just came out. Wow. A little bit of browned up on the fat cap now. Bring our cutting board back. We'll use this side with the juices tray because there might be some juices running here. Stab this in. Nice, Mary. I think he'll love him. If he likes other Rice Krispie Treats, I think he will really love it. I'm gonna keep this asparagus warm in here while we finish slicing this up. So earlier in the stream, we were talking about when we were trimming the tri-tip before we seasoned it, how there's a couple different muscles in this cut of beef. So they kind of split like here-ish. So the meat grains on this part of the muscle run this way, and then the meat grains on like this kind of triangle part of the muscle run the opposite way. So you got to cut it this way first and then kind of angle it so you're always against the grain. We got the meats. We'll see if I want to slice this or Sam does. I got it. I got this, guys. And we'll take our carving fork. Oh, you see the juices? Should we come closer now? Put that in there. Maybe I'll go a little closer. These are the nuggets. Usually like to slice this about like a 1/3 inch thick, maybe a 1/4 inch thick. Not too thick though. And then obviously for sandwiches, you can go even thinner once it's cold. It's easy to shave. But look at these slices, guys. These first ones off of the tip here. Get the juices. I just squeeze it and the juices come out. So obviously where it's tapered, it's going to be more cooked, more well done. And then as we go along to the thicker and wider part of the meat, it's going to be less done. So this is also a really good cut to cook for people who are a bit picky with their meat donenesses. And I only usually slice what we're gonna eat that day and leave the rest whole. Look at those juices running. So now that we're a bit farther in, you can see how it's a lot more rare. But that is like perfect medium rare, guys. Like holy smokes, the juices right now. My mouth is salivating. I think I'll stop there. Just so we don't get too much juices running. Maybe I'll do one more for Samo. So bloody. I'm just like watching it. I might go get just a cloth real quick. Just in case it goes over.
Going overboard?
It looks to be okay. All right. Let's plate it up, my wonderful people. 1, 2. We're gonna get our potato wedges on first. And then our asparagus and our meat and our sauce. So the top of the wedges don't look super crispy, but I did have the heat crank, so the bottom layer of this should be nice and browned at least. We'll go from the edges first. Nice. That's what I was going for. Even this is like money piece. It'd be so tasty. Boom. Boom. Fill in the gaps. couple more for Samo. Thanks, Suki. Where's Titan's plate? It's in the cupboard. Are you coming over? Our yummy green asparagus still. So it's cooked, but it has a slight bend to it is what I always look for. Slight bend. That's my perfect asparagus texture. This plate, seriously guys, from like a steakhouse would probably be close to $60. We'll do a little bit from over there. Well, that one got a little bit more well done. 2 pieces behind these. For Samo's, we'll fan it out. We'll give them these 2 big pieces. I'll put those other ones behind on my plate because that's probably going to be enough. But there's a bit of a smoke ring. Mary, you were asking earlier if there was going to be one. You can see it here on that edge. For sure ended up with it. I'm going to take this away now. So we can get our sauces over here and stuff. If your asparagus is limp, it might need the blue pill. Thank you very much. It's just like bend, Mary. That's what we're looking for. Okay, and then we got our chimichurri here. I think I'll just take a photo with this bowl in it, because I usually let people sauce their own stuff.
What?
Where's my phone at?
I don't know. Outside?
Right in front of my face. You can see the smoke ring, Mary, even after that short a time, hey? Hello? Photo? Good slightly bent asparagus. I don't know what's happening with my camera, guys, but every time I go to take a picture of this, it like freezes. Disconnect. You nut. Thank you. That's the ticket. Get the feta for me, hurry. It's in the fridge, Titan. Middle shelf, back right. Okay. Sam was just back there eating asparagus, guys. I guess it turned out all right. So this is how you usually would serve this with the chimichurri if you guys wanted. Oops, I spooned it over Samo's by accident. But that's how he'll eat it. And then you just kind of spread it out. A little bit of feta on there would be good. And then I also have the sour cream for our wedges. And Samo went with the chipotle mayo. Do you want some sour cream with it? Oh, he does. Okay. Look at it though. It's like grainy this time. But it tastes normal.
It's just thick. Not just one. Thank you.
Yummo, guys. This was an easy one. Do we need a bit of knife for the meat. We gotta switch sides. Misha's here? Oh gosh, I missed it. Hi. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna slice this for you guys on camera, close up, so you can see the texture of tri-tip since a bunch of you have never eaten it before. So it's really interesting, like you can see all the meat grains in it, right? So we know that we cut against the grain, so that's awesome. And then like as far as texture, it's really just like a roast or a steak. A little bit of marbling inside, and then the really nice, like soft, melt in your mouth, fat cap. And then yeah, you can see how it's like literally falling apart on the fork. You'd pay $100 for this, Blondie? Let's go. Tri-tip was your first thing that you did in the sous vide? That's funny, I did some pot roast this week for my clients. I usually just do like a chuck roast. It works so good. Guys, really good flavor. Like smoke-wise on the tri-tip. It's just light enough for you to be like, whoa, what's that? What's that little bit of unctuous flavor? And yeah, I need some with chimichurri now. Yeah, Suki, I've been cooking, doing private chef stuff for now. I just send out my invoice so I know what week I'm on, like 36 weeks consistently.
Whoa, mythical.
Thank you. It's been so fun. Get this cream off of my meat. Did I make a good batch of chimi?
Yeah.
Okay, now with the chimi, we're crazy, so we use some cilantro. Guys, you can't beat that. Wow. The way, I don't know why the flavor of the herb sauce goes so good with the grill flavor. Does this feel like a summer meal in the middle of winter? Okay, asparagus. It is summer outside. Guys, do you eat your little asparagus like this? I'll put one on a fork and then just fold it into my mouth. Like, I would have eaten the asparagus raw. It's so good right now. Good Italian seasoning on there. That was a good choice. Just like a little bit of flavor, but you really still taste the veggie. And then, yeah, my fave are wedgies. First, I'll try it by itself. The potatoes are sweet. It's like a sweet potato, guys. That's so yummy. I love when it gets the speckles like that from the oven. Oh no. Samo said chipotle mayo is good. The fat cap on the tri-tip, guys, do not pass that up. There's a reason why I trimmed it to a point where, like, I would still eat it. If it's too thick, it gets kind of gross. But, like, if I hold it up here, you can see how it renders out. Almost the same way as the meat. Like, there's little holes in between there. but it never comes out chewy. Really good stream, Mary. This is seriously delicious. And like, I just kind of felt like making a steak plate today after taking a bit of time away from the kitchen on stream. So the tri-tip was around $20. I don't know how much a bag of potatoes was today, but we probably used like what, $5 worth of potatoes?
Oh, it was only $8 a bag.
Okay, so maybe $2 of potatoes then. So we're at like 22 bucks. I think the asparagus is $8, so we're at $30. The little bit of herbs, half of each bunch, so let's say like $2.50. So like under $35 for both of these plates, plus leftovers. You can't beat that. He's been creamed. He liked it. We almost got Clean Plate Club. Would feed 8 to 10 for the size of tri-tip. I would say more like 6, probably 4 to 6.
Yeah.
The beard snacks, yeah, are for later. And then we liked the Krispies too, right?
Yeah.
We love the Krispies too, guys. And yeah, we're making dessert tomorrow on stream as well. Another style of bar that's easy, but we've made this one before from Sally. Okay, wrapping it up. That's a check on all of the recipes that we use today. They're tried and true. Let's see who's streaming. We're gonna go raid, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. Excuse me. Belcher approval for the chef. Thank you. Menu. Yeah, you got it, Mary. Sarah. Maybe we'll go raid Sarah Bridgewater. She's making crafts. Because she raided us last time we were cooking. If you guys don't know who that is, you might have heard of Hitch. He's a Twitch streamer that's quite popular, does hitchhiking. We've had him over before. That's his girlfriend. Sarah Bridgewater. I love watching people make crafts. It's a really nice way to just hang out, have something in the background. Yeah, thanks guys for being here. Hopefully we inspired you to make something yummy for yourself. Like I said, it's been a while since I made a meal like this. So it feels good. Very nourishing. Feels good to cook for yourself and other people. Okay, Sarah Bridgewater. I think I spelled it right. And tomorrow we're cooking up more yummy stuff. Did I do this right? I did. We are making butterscotch blondie bars for our dessert. Another one pan bar recipe. And then we're also making a braised pork shoulder ragu to go over creamy polenta. So like tomatoey kind of Italian style pork that's roasted, and then you kind of chunk it and pull it apart and eat it over polenta, or like pappardelle noodles is really good with that too. So that's what's tomorrow, and just a bit more veggies. So hope to see you guys then. Take care out there, stay safe. You know where to find us if you need anything. Discord's definitely the best spot, and that's where all of our recipes are linked too. Guys, thanks for all your contributions today. Lauren with some biddies. We had a couple of resubs and some new follows. So thanks for everything. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, night, wherever you are in the world. And hope to see you next time. Bye!